David, hi. There's a question. At this stage, how is it for you to teach basics, work with a group of primarily new students? Is it challenging to maintain your enthusiasm for teaching a very basic level?
Oh, good question.
Very good question, yeah.
Would you guys like to field that one?
I try, again, Shoshin, beginner's mind. I kind of have my own method and strategy and system, but I try to look at each student individually and see if they're going to fit in that. A very good example, I wonder if she's going to watch, a very good example is Cheryl. Cheryl, hello, if you're watching out there. You were there that day that I just took her the next step, next step, next step, next step. And if I had just tried to keep her in my routine beginner's class teaching strategy, we wouldn't have gotten to where we got in just that half hour. It would have taken us 2 or 3 months. So in those cases, it's still exciting for me, David, to teach beginners. And I would say then, that's just one story, but to come back to the question, it's still exciting for me as long as the beginner is enthusiastic. And I understand that that's a two-way street. If I'm not enthusiastic, they won't be, but it's both ways. So if I come in and I'm like, really pumped up, and the students are like, just a minute, then it gets difficult. But if I have a beginner student who I can see is very enthusiastic, we have some centenarians in the Los Angeles dojo, a 71-year-old and 72-year-old. They're wonderful to teach. And they will allow me to push their limits a little bit. They'll allow me, they trust me enough now to let me take them out of their comfort zone for a moment. I just make sure that it's always safe. So.
Yeah, I can understand.
How about you, Doug, Sensei?
Yeah, David, first of all, thank you for the question. I think the beginners, they can teach me maybe the most.
Yeah.
And they always question my current frame of reference in Aikido. So the longer you practice with your group, with your dojo, with the seminars where people know you already, the more they adapt to your practice. This is my feeling. They're stepping into the same frame of reference. And beginners, they have no frame of reference in terms of Aikido, so they are just open and they react naturally to whatever it is. So it could be a challenge to see that this is not working. Right. This is not working, but what is working? And so in a way, the beginners classes are one of the best experiences at this moment because you get these questions. Yeah. I have to question myself all the time. And another point which comes up to my mind is that, we put the whole system I was trained in from, how can I say that? From legs to upside down, right? Yeah. We don't start with Kihon Kata. We start with other basics, like breathing, like exercises for understanding in and out, yin and yang, with exercises about how to connect properly with people, what does it mean to attack, what does it mean to receive an attack, and things like that. And later on, we start to label it, so that people have already a physical understanding, a physical experience of the movement, of the inner connection, the connection with the partner. And then later on, we gave it a name. So we give it a name, and then they can understand, okay, they call it Ikkyu, they call it Nikyu, something like that. So we do it since now around 12 years, other way around, and my feeling is that the teaching becomes more holistic, and many people have a more natural growth in Aikido. Like, they have their own experience, and they can build their own frame of inner reference, instead of just copying out of forms, which helps some people, but a lot of people, this was my experience, they struggle a lot with this, to just copy out of forms.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I hope that answers your question, David.